The Phantom is incredible. I didn't get it for a long time. I've only just become convinced of this. Whether you're a new player who wants to start off the game knowing how to use one of its most powerful weapons, an experienced player who wants a couple pointers to get more frags, or someone like me who couldn't figure out what all the buzz was about, this video is for you. The Phantom can be a beast if you know how to use it right. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hello everyone, I'm Atchax, and today we're going over the Phantom. Let's start with the statistical breakdown of the weapon. First off, there is a fall-off of damage based on range. Within 15 meters, the Phantom is capable of a 1-tap headshot or 4 body shots. 15 to 30 meters features 1 head and anything else for a frag or 5 body shots. 30 to 50 meters basically has the same outcome as 15 to 30. This is all finished with an impressive fire rate of 11 unscoped or 9.9 well scoped, and a mag size of 30. You can already see why this thing is so good. Alright, let's look at the spray. The spray moves gradually up before jumping to the left and then back to the center. This means you will pull down, then to the right, then back to center. You'll definitely have to practice to get the hang of it though. All in all, the spray is pretty easy and it's gradual, so it's easy to control. What are the takeaways from all this? First, I wouldn't trust the 1-tap. 15 meters is a bit closer than I would have thought, and I rarely ended up in that range. Too often I ended up hitting opponents for 140, when a spray would have finished the job. Learning how to make accurate bursts is critical. With the Phantom, you usually won't need a full spray because even the body shot damage is super powerful. Also, don't use the scope. Unless you are playing a pixel angle or want a faster reaction time, the rate of fire reduction is difficult to justify. The Phantom is a monster in close quarters. If you get into that 15 meters, one shot will delete an opponent, and the fast fire rate makes this even more of an advantage. In addition, the spray is super easy to control. The result of this is that, counterintuitively in Valorant, sprayed body shots from the Phantom can be very powerful and devastating, and a chained headshot body shot even more so. I'm going to add an extra section where I cover some attributes of the Phantom that aren't necessarily in the stats. One of the things I really noticed early on was that the Phantom is very forgiving. Even if you aren't on your A game, you can still come out victorious based off of body shots. There were a couple instances where I was flashed and I just sprayed through and won off of pure luck and the high damage body shots. The other thing I noticed is that this thing is a beast at spraying through a smoke. As a former CS player, this is something I love. It was also surprisingly easy to wallbang. It's difficult to find those, but there were definitely 2 or 3 ridiculous wallbangs. There was one more important part for me though. I was really frustrated trying to learn the Phantom for 2 days before it clicked, and you probably will be too if you don't naturally gravitate towards this. As I struggled to get more than 1 kill per round with this thing, I watched my friend, who is quite good with the Phantom and despises the Vandal, get a 3k as a Sage back to back, and I asked him how he did it. He was like, I don't know, I just kinda walked in there and it works. The Phantom goes really well with the reactive and freewheeling style, which was the key that I missed. As unappealing as that may sound to a more tactical and strategic player, you just don't have to be quite as meticulous as you would normally be. Another thing I noticed was that when I was surprised, I actually had a reasonable chance of winning with the Phantom, with the solid rate of fire and the excellent all-around damage. That decreases the risk of making more aggressive decisions substantially. You can see here I have my knife out and still managed to come out on top. That's usually impossible with other weapons. If I was going to clear a corner with a running wide peek, or jump into a room with low amounts of time left, I would pick the Phantom in both cases without even thinking. It's a lot easier to do things like that when you have the Phantom's margin of error behind you. Let's sum it up. The Phantom has phenomenal damage and range across the board, with forgiving recoil and damage that will allow you to get out of some tight spots. It rewards a more aggressive playstyle and has some less measurable benefits, besides its apparent statistical advantages. Okay, with that covered, let's go over how to use the Phantom to get the most frags and the most value. First off, it's kind of good at everything, except for that range at which you'll need an op. That's really the only weakness. You can think of it a lot like a bulldog, except really, really good. While the Phantom lacks a 1-tap at range, a 2-tap literally anywhere is nothing to laugh at. I'd just stray away from dueling operas or committing to mid. At long range, go for a headshot and then anything else. Anywhere else, embrace longer bursts and sprays, even though you probably won't need an entire clip for one guy. With such solid damage output, the Phantom is great for multi-frags, so if they line up, you're all set. You'll notice the extra attributes I've gone over aren't very exact, so you may not know what to do with it. That's fine. The point is that this is not the sort of weapon that rewards passivity any more than it has to. It's possibly the best weapon to take aggressive risks with. You don't have to wait until you know where the opponents are, obsess over intel, or save your shots for when you see someone. Spraying through smoke and wallbanging are both very effective. The excellent body shot damage and high fire rate can compensate for a lot of poor positioning or timing. The Phantom goes very well with every agent, but I think the ones that have more aggressive or spontaneous playstyles, such as Jett or Phoenix, go best with it. The nice thing about the Phantom is that you have the option of the Vandal if it just doesn't suit you. At the same time, it's such a powerful and versatile weapon that gives you so much potential, it makes sense to learn it. The main takeaway is don't overthink the Phantom. It's good in almost every scenario you can think of, and probably a bunch more besides. I hope this video had some value for you. Best of luck, and I will see you next time.